viewers, you are on to BMK Media Productions Studio, presenting you with another edition of the program Humble Beginning. My name is Ben Millers and I am the chief host. The last edition was awesome and beautiful because from the trail of the success stories with the guest, we saw how he raised industries with sum of 500 naira. 500 naira, you heard me right. That he got from his master as a settlement during his days of apprenticeship scheme. And like I always predict on this same platform, today's edition will be so amazing, if not full of surprises. Yes, and if you would want to be part of this program, all you need to do is to like and share. Share with your friends and loved ones. In fact, invite them to be part of this program, especially those who are in need, who are in dire need for one thing or the other. And please don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Do not also forget to subscribe on our YouTube channel by clicking on the red button showing below. This is a platform, Humble Beginning. We are to look at performance and achievement in any walk of life, to present to our viewers successful business entrepreneurs across the globe with strong assertive who are sensitive to guide those living in the ghettos and among others who are disconnected socially, economically, politically, educationally, and psychologically. Welcoming you on the platform. Why don't you join me to put your hands together as we welcome our guest to Humble Beginning. Put your hands, please. Thank you. Our guest is here. Thank you, please. Okay, good day, sir.
Good day.
Oh, can we get to meet you? Our guest would want to know who you are.
Well, my name is Charles Uzodinma Ibe. I hail from Imo State, but born and bred in Lagos. I was born at Lutz in the year 1966, and all my life I've also lived in Surulere from birth up to date.
You are welcome. Please, where are we exactly? Can you let us know this place?
This is Co Street, 7A Co Street, Ohiago International Limited. We are manufacturers representative for elevators, escalators, dumbwaiters, platforms, disabled and physically challenged, vertical transportation, and then we are also into air conditioning, lift air conditioning systems. We're into doors, safety, security doors, and so on and so forth. We have our offices here in Lagos. Our head office is here in Lagos, 7A Co Street, SRH building, and then we also have in Port Harcourt and Enugu and Oka.
This is really a chain of industries.
Yes, the acronym is OIL, but the full meaning is Ohiago International Limited. This is because the name came about. My dad, who happens to be Mr. Clement Ibe, and I'm from Umuohiago. Umuohiago is in Imo State, Ngopala local government, some 17 kilometers away from Owerri town. And because of what my father did, he was now christened Ohiago. So after his demise, we decided to bless him with the name, and that's how we came about Ohiago International Limited.
Please, can you go on and tell us how this dream of yours get to start?
Well, first and foremost, like I said, I was born in Lagos, Lut. I attended schools at St. Thomas Primary School in Surulere here, St. Finbar's College, Akoka, Igbubi College for my A-levels, Yaba College of Tech, and before I now ventured outside, yeah. So these are my institutions in Lagos, and then went further to Federal Poly, Ado Ekiti, where I also acquired some degrees. I did my PGD with Nigeria Institute of Journalism. Then I went further to do my master's in finance and financial business in Ladoke Akintola University. But majorly, I delved into, after graduation, I served in Benin.
Okay.
And during my service here, I also, being an athlete, I played for Bendel Insurance of the old.
Oh.
Yeah, during my service here.
Okay.
So I was, because of how good I was in the art of football, Bendel Insurance Football Club called me and picked me up for my service here.
Well, you played football, yes.
Yes.
I remember Bendel Insurance.
Yes, even from my days in Yaba Tech, I was in the team. I was the director of sports as well at the Federal Polytechnic Ado Ekiti, and during the period, I captained a lot of teams, clubs.
Wow. Let's come back to the question on board.
Yeah.
The viewers, our laudable audience would want to know, how did you get this business started?
Okay. When I
At what point did you get it
when I
started?
finished school, after my NYSC, I think I applied to CFAO and Nigerian breweries. Those are the two places I wrote interview. Well, CFAO is the
okay,
French.
yes.
Is a well-known company is a French company, and they have about 21 conglomerates. They are the owners of CFAO Motors,
Okay.
Nipen, Qualitex, Structech, Nigerian Motor Industries, Sika, and yeah, they sell almost everything. Now they are into pharmaceuticals and stuff like that. But I was actually employed as a salesperson for automobiles. That's for vehicles. But by the time I reported, they said there was no longer space for that. So let me go back to say I had some technical instincts at St. Finbar's College, because we were all in the technical department, and from there, when I got the job of CFO and they asked me, they brought the drawing, this technical drawing, and I did a lot of, I had C4 in
a technical
drawing. Yeah, so they brought the technical drawing, whether I could interpret the drawing.
Yes.
Because having gone through my CV, they see I didn't do anything
related to
technical. So they brought it, and I was able to identify the border lines, the machines, the shaft, and stuff like that. So that was how they now said, okay,
start paying attention.
So if this man has all this grammatical certification and he can interpret this, maybe you should try him in the lift industry. So that was how I was drafted into lift section.
Oh, lift?
Yes,
That's
elevator,
you're talking
elevator,
about,
yeah.
yes.
So, and I had my 6 months or 8 months training as going to site, physical site, to do installation.
Okay.
I was a part of the team that did the installation at Union Bank, UBA in Marina, the present Union Bank.
Okay, present,
their
yes.
their head office, yeah.
Yes, that's Marina.
Yes, UBA, as well as another project, Olua Kemi building in Ikeja. That was where I had the technical experience before I was now drafted back to sales. And I rose from sales executive to commercial manager. In between, I covered some areas in Lagos, and then anywhere from Benin to Calabar, Akwa Ibom, those are my region. I was then the Eastern commercial manager for sales. So I oversee a lot of projects, project management, both in Lagos
Under
and
CF.
under CFU. Yes, under CFU. And I served the company for 23 years. How we came about this,
Yes.
was a trip to UK, and normally in the evenings they will always drop the newspapers in the train. Anywhere you go is free. You just, as you are walking, you just pick up the daily news. When you finish reading, you drop it back. You can take it home, you can do anything with it, but they find a way of going back to the same. They will recycle it and use it to print another one. So that was how I picked up one. And while I was on a journey from London to Scotland, I picked up this newspaper, and there I saw an advert for Econ Stairlift. Econ Stairlift.
Okay. Econ
Stairlift.
Stairlift.
Yes,
Okay.
stairlift.
Okay.
Which has to do with mobility, like for physically challenged, those elderly people
okay,
who
the
cannot,
aged, yes.
who cannot climb the steps and stuff like that. And because I was still with CFU, I didn't want a situation where it would look like I was having a clash of interest. Yes, so, and you all know in Nigeria that it's difficult for you to survive with just one job.
Exactly.
In UK, in abroad, in Europe, people will do 3 or 4 jobs per day, depending on how strong you are. You do shifts.
Okay.
But here, we only have from 8 o'clock to 5 p.m. So it's difficult for you to say you want to do another job. But we also know that in Nigeria, you can't survive with just one job. Yes, it's either you are doing your own and your wife is bringing some income, or you are doing your major work and still doing something by the side. So that was how we started this. So I looked at it, came back, went for the training for installation of the Econ Stairlift. I went with a friend, Mr. Francis Bress. We all went to Stilton together while we had the train. So I came back, and I just asked my father, what would he like to see me do? He said he wants his name to continue. So I said, fine, legacies to continue. So, right. And to honor him while he was still alive, to see that there's something that has to do with his name, we formed Oyago International Limited.
Oh, that's a concept that brought about this oil. I call it oil.
Oil, yes. That's
Oh, I am.
yes, that was how the Ohiago International Limited came up.
Oh, wonderful.
So we now had to begin to get the office. I got the office, a place we called the office, the day my mom passed on. When they called me from office that my mom had passed on, so I went to Lutz. As I got to Lutz, and we were trying to make arrangement for where to keep her, the agent called me that there's an office that was vacant in Ojuelegba that should come and see. So immediately I left that place. I didn't finish everything. I handed it over to my brother. Then I went there, I saw the place, and I said, this is what my mom wants me to have.
Could it be this place we're at today?
No.
Oh, okay.
69 Ojuelegba.
Oh,
So that was our first office.
okay.
Meanwhile, I was still working with CFO. So for like 2 years, there was nothing. We were just trying to do paperwork, pay office rent, do some documentations, furnishing and stuff like that. You understand? So after that, then we now started recruitment, employed people, and we now incorporated, brought in a few staff, of which that my friend I mentioned earlier, Francis, also was the first managing director we had, because I was still working with CFO, so I couldn't. So I was just doing the technical aspect while Francis and the rest of them were doing the financial and sales aspects. Yeah. So.
How long is this establishment now? Like
8 years.
Oh.
Yeah, we registered the company in just like I said, 10 years ago. That's Ohiago International. So, and that was when my mom passed on. So,
for me, they are more of mechanical, electronics, devices, and then how did you come about that?
Basically, when I finished school, I didn't want to do. I majored in marketing, but I really didn't want to sell anything consumer products. Because if you sell anything that is on the ground, you can lose the job any day, any time. But when you look up in the sky and you do the jobs that the angels do, then you don't lose your job. So the first thing to do is carve a niche, look for an area where it is not for all comers. Anybody that just finished school, whether you are a business admin or accounting, you can go to bank and work. You can go to, but it's not every business admin person that can fly an aircraft. It requires a technical skill.
Yes.
So the same way for this kind of projects in engineering, you really have to take time, years of molding and having the interest. The way to go about it is when you have your child and he begins to play around with some materials, looking for what got spoiled inside an equipment, maybe whether it's a phone or a camera. He can take your camera and pieces it and begin to look for what is not there. Then you know that surely that guy is the child should be trained towards
the direction.
that direction. And then if your child is always molding cement and block and you should teach him the line of building and stuff like that.
It's not to take you back, because I am wondering, at a point in time when you left CF, okay, and coming to venture, how did you manage that relationship? Did you resign from the work, or how? Tell us.
I've actually, after 23 years, after 20 years, I'd already started planning how to step aside and allow others to continue. Probably you call us the middlemen. We are not the lower class, we are not the upper class, we're in the middle class because we can at least provide 2 square meal a day. You understand, for ourselves and our family. And then there is need for everybody who has worked for an organization not to die in that organization. We should always think of leaving the position so that other people can come in and occupy the position while you move out to employ and empower the younger ones. So just like I said, I also didn't want to leave my vicinity. That's why we're here. Like I told you, I was born and brought up in Surulere. So I've seen offices in Bode Thomas, Awolowo Road. But if everybody begins to run to all those areas because of who will then develop our local community, the children that are growing up needs to also see that we have some people that are doing well who also lived in the community. So, and in doing that, that means you have to give back to the society, societal responsibility.
Exactly.
And then you use that to empower a lot of people. We do a lot of community work. Even during COVID, we gave out food items and stuff like that. We clean our environment. We pay for the cleaners, and we provided street light for the streets, powered by our generator and our solar when there's no light.
During that time, did you finalize your relationship with them? Was it because you made enough money from that organization that you now decided to venture into your own? At least you got what we are looking for. Or was it because you have this entrepreneurial skills in you that was speaking that, what?
First and foremost, don't forget I'm an Igbo man to start with, and everything about the Igbos, they like adventures. So I wasn't comfortable doing so much money for the company, and at the end of the day I'm paid peanuts. So we just decided, okay, let us help ourselves. Let us be able to employ a few people that we can also train. And so it wasn't like we had the money. But in business, you don't have to have the whole money before you can start up a business. It's a gradual thing. You just start with whatever you have, get an office. Like in our own case, the idea was you first of all have a dream of what you want to do into. And then when that dream begins to come often, then you need to move to the next stage, which is developing that dream.
Yes.
That is getting the dream, making the dream come true. You understand?
That would lead me to ask you, it wasn't a bed of roses, of course.
It wasn't.
It wasn't. So were there some financial challenges at that time?
Well, so far it has always been self-financed. I didn't go into a lot of properties like others would do. I didn't buy flashy cars. I was just contented with what I had, and whatever extra I had, I put it to this business. And just like I know and I'm informed that once you invest in some business, it will get to a time the business will begin to generate income and the profit that you derive from that income, that is the one you have to spend. When you invest your money in a particular business, at the beginning you will make profit, and there's a product life cycle. Your business has a life cycle from birth, and it continues to grow with enough nurturing and water and stuff like that. A lot of energy that must be in place.
Can you please put your hands together for this wonderful discussion we have with Mr. Charles? Please put your hand and appreciate that, so that when we come back, we continue this discussion. Mr. Charles,
Thank you.